we're ready to roll. If we could just have 30 seconds of silence, I just need to get a sound of the room for the editor.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and have silence for about 20 seconds, please.
My name is Mitch Gerald. I am the interviewer,
Sorry? Excuse me.
and today's date is September 22nd,
Okay.
2000.
Okay, stand by. Okay, go ahead.
My name is Mitch Gerald. I am the interviewer, and today's date is September 22nd, 2005. I am interviewing Miss Eliza Robinson for her recollection of activities associated with the K-25 facility, all facilities that's concerned with K-25 during the Manhattan Project and Cold War era. Ms. Liza, will you give me your name and spell it for me, please?
My name is Eliza May Robinson, ELIZAMAE ROBINSON.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ms. Liza, well, I'm going to call you like your friends call it. I call you Liza. Right?
That's
okay.
right.
Okay. Where were you born?
I was born in Boonville, Mississippi.
Where? What town is that near?
It's near Corinth, Mississippi.
Is that about mid-state somewhere in there?
Yes, it is. I'm 20 miles on the other side of Corinth.
Okay. Is that the north side or what is it? Can you
That's
tell?
the north side.
On north side? Okay.
That's correct.
Okay. Is that where you were living prior to coming here to Oak Ridge?
That's correct. That's where I was born and raised,
Okay.
in Prentice County.
Okay. All right. And how many was it in your family as a kid?
It was 8 of us.
8 of you?
Yes.
Yeah, mom and dad.
And
was
sisters and brothers.
sisters and brothers.
Right.
What did they do?
My daddy was a farmer,
Mm-hmm.
and I was too when I got bigger.
Uh-huh. And when you say bigger, what was bigger?
Bigger was 11 and 12 years old. And we was raised in 3 different groups. I never knew my mother.
Is that right?
Right.
Is that right?
So we was divided up, my sisters and brothers and I.
Is that right?
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay. So I gotta ask you, what presented itself to get you interested in this part of Tennessee?
Well, I worked down there, and I had finished high school. And I wanted to do something to help my mother and daddy, the one that raised me, which was my aunt and uncle, that I call mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do something to repay them for what they did for us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you were presented the opportunity to come here. Who did you come up here with?
I came by myself on the Greyhound bus.
Came by yourself on the Greyhound bus. And
And
how old were you?
I was 18 years old.
18. Now, what? I gotta ask you, what year was that?
1949.
1949. And you got on that bus by yourself?
I got on that bus by myself. I kept hearing about Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and the jobs that they was going to create. And I talked to my dad, and he told me that would be fine. And that's what I did.
That's what you did.
That's right.
Now, you jumped on that Greyhound bus.
Right.
And you landed where?
I landed over in Scarborough, where we live now.
That bus brought you there?
No, I got in a taxi at a gate or something.
So the bus stopped where? Was it Kingston or something like that?
It was something like that.
Somewhere in Kingston?
Yeah,
right
somewhere
near this area?
Right.
Yeah, okay. So what did you expect? Because you had to have a picture in your mind.
Right. I thought I was coming to a great big city because I lived in the country. Because it was night and I saw all of those lights. And when it came daylight, it was a big difference.
It was a big difference.
That's right.
And you assume you were taken to the employment area, or
Right. That's
tell me what
Okay.
transpired.
When I was down in Mississippi,
Uh-huh.
I had worked for Troy Moore that owned the store,
Mm-hmm.
grocery store, and they had told me, well, Liza, why don't you try to do better so you can help? He called my mother Mary and Charlie. My daddy was named Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talked about it, and that's how Oak Ridge, Tennessee come up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they all give me some money to come up here, own, and have some when I got here.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a first cousin here, and they met me. They told me to tell the bus driver where I wanted to get off at.
Okay.
And they met me and picked me up, and that's how I was here.
Okay. Okay.
And
Now, go ahead.
I was here 2 weeks, and I bought my reservation, where I had worked in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the first job working for a pharmacy
Okay.
at his house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. You got your first job working over at a pharmacy here in
Yeah,
Oak Ridge?
yeah, at
Is
their
that right?
house.
Yeah, yeah.
And I moved in with them.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
And they had a little boy named Randy.
Yeah.
And I kept Randy.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Now, what was your education background?
Well, I had finished high school, and I had went to school, taking up key punching and all that stuff. And
Okay.
and that's how I got
Yeah.
where I was.
Okay. All right. Now, I know when you left your home, man, that was a tough thing to do.
That's right, because I hated to leave them because my daddy was sick.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And did any of your sisters and brothers migrate up here with you later on?
No.
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 What was your message back to them about did you have this attitude when you got here in Oak Ridge that you guys need to come up here?
Yes, that's what I said to my brother, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so finally he came, and he left here and went to Cleveland, Ohio.
He bypassed you.
Yeah, he stopped though, but he went to Cleveland, Ohio,
Uh-huh.
and he lived there all his life, and he died in November.
This past November?
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear
Uh-huh.
that. Yeah. Was he older than you?
Oh yeah, I was the youngest.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, but you asked him to come to Oak Ridge?
Yes, I did.
Well, why did he bypass you?
Well, he said that they had started some kind of training in Mississippi, for the African American peoples and the low incomes, and he had taken that training working in a shop.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So did he go? Did he go to one of the automobile plants somewhere?
Yeah, in Cleveland, Ohio.
Ohio?
That's where he worked. You're right.
Okay. Now, K-25. When you saw all the lights and you saw the facility,
Yeah.
Did it overwhelm you?
Oh yeah, I thought I done hit the big city.
Is that right?
Right.
But now, did you know anything about any of the history of what they were doing here?
No.
Nobody could. All it was just people working,
People's working,
making money.
making money.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was in Mississippi, I was making 25 cents, a day.
A day. What were you doing? I mean, you still farm work, but doing what?
Well, we picked cotton,
Mm-hmm.
we picked beans.
Mhm.
I did all of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I say work won't hurt you. I tell my kids that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So when you showed up here, you stayed with your cousin?
Yes, I did. I stayed with her and her husband.
Okay, they had a home here.
No, they was on a flat top.
That was one of the huts.
Huts or something, yeah.
Yeah, see,
right.
okay. So
Right. It was a little old bitty. It wasn't like,
Talk about that.
And well, I didn't like that because I was used to a big house, in Mississippi, because those houses are big, and
Yeah.
go out the front door to the back door and keep, And but I said, well, Daddy told me when you go out into the world, everything changes. What he told me when he put me on the bus. He said, and you always remember that. So every time I think about where I was staying, I would think about what he told me to always do.
Yeah. Okay.
So as I was here, and I bought the paper, and I saw that job in there, and they interviewed me, and then I give them the people I had worked for in Mississippi that I kept their jury, so they hired me. So then they told me when I just move in, I don't have to pay no rent, and all my money would be clear, So I did that.
Okay. And you did that. That's what you did for your start.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. Now, you're staying in those huts. You were staying. Did your cousins? Was she married? So her husband worked for K-25?
Her husband worked,
Her husband worked for the reservation out
right?
Okay.
And his name was Louis Stovall, and her name is Annie Mae.
Annie Mae.
And she lives in Chicago.
Okay. So you lived in the little section that they call the pen.
Right. That's right.
And now we get somewhere.
That's right.
Yeah. So and that form of we'll call it segregation, but that was the separation where family-wise everybody had their rules.
Right.
The blacks had their rules and the whites had their rules.
That's correct.
Can I talk about that?
And it was all different, but it was better here than where I came from. That's right. And I, then I started to working for the judge and some more peoples, because I never been arrested a day in my life. Down there or up here, I've never got a ticket or anything. Okay, so I had no record, and I still don't have one. And I'm too old now to get one.
Well, nobody expects you to have a record.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm just telling it all.
Yeah,
but that's pretty good. You've lived all these years in one town and never got a ticket.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, so when did you start working for the plant out here?
I started working in '76.
You started working in '76? Okay. What did you start? What was your task of job out there?
I started out in the cafeteria.
In the cafeteria. Okay. So things were pretty relaxed at that time.
That's right.
It wasn't segregated then.
That's right.
Okay.
That's
right. So you remember when you came and it was segregation, and then all of a sudden things changed.
That's right.
So what did you see about the change?
Well, I said, oh Lord, things is getting better for us. That's what I said.
So you were still living with your cousins in the huts when the change came about?
No, I was living with Reverend C.C. Fuller.
Okay. Okay. Now you got married. Okay. So is that the Reverend? Is that?
I got married, but I didn't get married to him.
Okay.
But I got married.
Okay.
And then we got the house at 115 Bethune Circle.
Okay. Is that where you are now?
No, I'm on 102 Betty Slane.
Okay, that's right.
We bought that house.
All right. Okay. So the huts. You saw the huts disappear?
That's right. Oh, yeah.
You saw them disappear?
Right.
So tell me about the joy, the attitudes of the people when all that happened.
Oh, they was nice. You met nice people, and you met some wasn't too nice, but you looked over that and kept going and said, thank you, Jesus. That's right. That's what I did.
Yeah. Well, I can tell a lot of you did, because all I've been meeting is nice personalities. Yeah.
And then after I got married, I was working for Dr. Burris. And he asked me, he said, they all call me Liza, would you like to work at the government? You'll make more money. And he was working out there. And I said, yes, I would. He said, because you got all those little kids. I said, yes, I would. So he told me to fill out an application. I give it to him. And the next week, they called me out for an interview.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And
That's how you got on.
that's how I got on.
Yeah.
And I didn't have no record, and,
Didn't have any bad tracks.
Oh no, only bad track I had. I went to Chicago
Yeah.
to visit my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
And I was online in the kitchen, and so the FBI came in and he said, "Are you Miss Robinson?" And I said, "Yeah." Well, I didn't live there. I stayed there 2 weeks, but I worked. And he wanted to ask me what did I do in Chicago, and I told him because that wasn't on record, when they interviewed.
Yeah, but I mean, wait a minute, I'm losing track here. You went to Chicago.
Right, to visit.
To visit, and the FBI agent came to you?
Here, they came to me, out to the plant. He came to
To the plant. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
right.
Okay. He was just following your tracks.
Right.
Okay, all right.
And see, I didn't put that on the application because I didn't live there. I just was visiting a week.
Yeah.
But she worked at a restaurant, so she let me help her, and they paid me a check for working. So that's what.
All right. Now getting back to the plant and the huts and all that. How was it when you came here as far as recreation, social life, and how did you get around?
I got around on the bus. They had a bus that take you places. That run every day, ever so often in the hour,
Okay, now, if you came up and you stayed with your cousin,
I did.
How did they fix that up and they were living in the huts? Did they say that, and you wasn't working for the reservation, how did they arrange it to get you to live there in the huts?
Well, she told them that I come because I just finished school so I could work and help my mother and dad, and that was the reason I came here.
So,
and I did that.
Because I'm picturing that, it was a family that lived in the huts and everybody had to be tied into the reservation.
Yeah, right. I lived there.
But in a way, you wasn't tied into the reservation.
No.
So they let you.
Right.
They let you. Did you have to pay any rent? No, because you were staying with them.
I was staying with them, and I didn't pay any rent until I got a job.
Yeah.
And in 2 weeks, I went. I got that and worked for.
That was good.
Pharmacist.
That was
right.
good. Yeah, that was a good thing.
Because it didn't take them long to check my record, the doctor. Because I give them the people I work for name that own the store in Boonville, Mississippi.
Yeah. Now, when you started working out at the plant here, working conditions were pretty nice.
Oh, yeah, it was beautiful. I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it?
That's right.
And didn't you say you were a taxi driver?
I was a taxi driver.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, all right.
I drove people to where they wanted to go, and when they were sick and had to go home, I did that.
Okay. People that worked at the plant?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Were people really friendly?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Supervisors?
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, now, so I guess that you got better health care when you started working there and
that's
stuff
right.
too. So how did you, health care, when you came here and you moved in with your cousin, did you have any problems about health care? Did they help you out for health care? Could you get any health care from the government by living with them? How did that
No,
happen?
I did not get any help from them.
Okay. Oh, you just stayed healthy.
Right.
Thank
I
God.
stayed healthy, and I was working for the doctor that run the pharmacist in downtown.
Yeah. Okay.
That's who I live with.
So that was the health right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's right. I had no problem.
Yeah.
They had a 3-bedroom.
Okay. Now, all this is conspiring.
Right.
Sisters and brothers.
That's right.
What's happening with them?
Every one of them is dead but me.
Okay. Now, but you were communicating back and forth with them, were you not?
Oh, yes, I was.
Did at any time either one of your sisters and brothers come up here and stay with you any?
Yeah, my sister did. And she got killed in Cleveland, Ohio by a transfer truck.
It was
an accident on the road. That's right.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that. So she moved to Ohio.
Yeah, she moved to Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here you are, and you were more or less of taxi person on the reservation.
Right.
Can you recall taxiing any famous people?
Yes, I did.
Who did you taxi?
Ken Somersville.
Ken Somersville?
Yeah,
Who was he?
Plant manager.
He was a plant manager.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were there any other dignitaries like senators, presidents, or anything in taxi?
No.
Did you?
Because
ever-
they had a car,
Okay.
and they picked them up in a special car.
Special car.
Yeah.
Okay, but you never did. Did you ever see any of the presidents that come through? Do you have a chance to see
Yes,
them?
I did.
Did
Yes,
you?
yeah, and
Yeah.
sure did.
Oh, that was a good time.
That was a good time.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And they taken my picture
Uh-huh.
by the taxi that I drove.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a big picture of that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I meant to ask you to bring that.
Uh-huh.
Well, things worked out
It sure did.
for you.
Yes, it did.
For you, sisters and brothers kind of stayed behind, and
That's
they worked.
right.
They continued to work hard on the
Right.
farm.
That's right. That's right. Outside of the one that went to Cleveland, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked and saved up money, and I bought my mother and dad a house in Boonville, Mississippi.
Did you?
I sure did.
That was your mission. Your
Right.
mission was what?
Was to help the one that helped me,
Mm-hmm.
and that was my aunt and uncle that I called mother and dad.
Mm-hmm.
My mother died in childbirth, so that's the reason we was divided up.
Yeah, because you were the baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I didn't know I was 2 years old. I didn't know my mother.
Yeah.
I did then, but you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can imagine that.
yeah.
Did you as far as doing things and getting that taxi job, that wasn't the first job you got out there.
No, it wasn't. I was working in the cafeteria.
So you went from the cafeteria to being a taxi driver.
That's right. That's right.
So who did the doctor help you get the job at the cafeteria?
Yes, he did. And Wayne McLaughlin.
Okay.
You heard of him?
I've heard of McLaughlin. I've heard that name.
He was at K-25.
Okay.
And I bidded on the job.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a white lady that bidded on it too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I had more seniority than her. So they gave the job to her because she knew how to drive a stick shift, and I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But since they was having training at K-25
To do what?
to train people to do a job,
Mm-hmm.
then that's how I got it when Wayne McLaughlin stepped up and spoke. Then they had to train me how to drive a stick shift,
So-
which I wasn't driving one in the taxi, but they say you had to know how to drive it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the clue there.
Mhm.
Reason they gonna say that they give it to the white girl instead of me.
Okay.
Ah.
Even though the car didn't even have a
No,
shift in
and
it.
she wasn't driving no stick shift either.
Okay.
But I got it.
You got it.
I got it.
Okay. And that was more or less
And
a promotion.
Right, and the union steward told them that we had to go to a meeting, and he told them that this is a training for place out here. So since she got the job and she's qualified, then we'll train. That'll be another job we add to the training for her to learn how to drive it. I
Now-
did it.
Yeah, you did it.
That's right.
Now you got somebody. How many kids you got?
I have 8.
You got 8 kids.
Uh-huh.
Now you got one. You got a daughter that played professional basketball, right?
That's correct. Charlotte Robinson.
And they call her Cece.
C.C. Robinson.
Cece Robinson. What did she play right here in Oak Ridge?
She did.
Basketball in high school?
Oh, yes, she did. All the way up.
Yeah, she did.
And she graduated from UT,
Mm-hmm.
and then she went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and played for the Milwaukee.
Now, what I want you to do.
Let's go ahead and stop there.
Okay.